Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for delay. It was a technical glitch, so we are starting late. Sorry for that. So let's start for today. We extend a warm welcome to each one of you joining us today for this ninth installment of webinar series Grow Your Practice. It is a pleasure to have all of you here. I am seeing right now that more than 550 participants have joined. And before we delve into topic of today of compliance and audit through tally and capacity building, we this I want to share about the grow your practice webinar series. This series has been a journey of knowledge sharing and professional growth, and we are thrilled to continue this tradition today. Our aim remains steadfast to equip with you with the tools, insights, and strategies necessary to navigate ever evolving landscape of our profession. Today we are privileged to have two dynamic speakers with us who will shed light on the chosen theme. Please join me in welcoming CA Mohit Patni ji and CA Vijay Garwal ji. Their expertise and experience promise to enrich our understanding and empower us to tackle the challenges ahead with confidence. But before we delve into topic, it's my honor to welcome the chairman of our committee, CA Rohit Ruvati Agarwal ji, under whose guidance and leadership CMP is taking new directions. Over to you, sir. Rohit sir. I think he's facing some technical glitch. So I will introduce to your speaker of today, CA Mohit Patni ji. He's a 13-year experienced chartered accountant. He is chosen as a tally evangelist by Tally Solution. He is engaged in automatic accounting services at the best within the Tally Prime. He is best known for customizing Tally as an ERP for business and business processing, re-engineering with Tally using TDL integrations. He believes in that be the first one to keep yourself ahead, and first mover advantage goes to a company that scales up. And my next speaker for today's session is CA Vijay Agarwal ji, who's a fellow chartered accountant from Jaipur. He's a FCA MCOM LLB DSA and currently holds the secretaryship of Jaipur branch. And he has been a chairman of SICASA and secretary in Tax Consultant Association TCA. Over to Mohit Patni and Vijay Agarwal ji. Please start the session today.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So first of all, I would like to thank ICI and the CMP committee for organizing such a great webinar series and giving us the opportunity to drill into the topic which I think most of the chartered accountants in practice go through, that is the tally, how we can use the best of our tally. I would like to thank my friend CA Rohit Ruatia for giving us the opportunity here. And just before we start, I would just like to give you the theme of the today's 2 hours seminar.
Yeah, sir, before we go ahead, sir, before you go ahead, let's
Yes.
begin with the session of Rohit Ruatia ji. He has joined.
Okay.
So you can continue, sir. Over to you, sir.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm just so sorry. Actually, some network disruption was there. So thank you and sorry for the inconvenience. So first of all, I would like to welcome all the members across the country who are there, and almost more than 1,000 members are attending today's webinar. So we can understand the importance of the topic which we have chosen this time. And it is continuously we are doing the webinar on every Friday from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. in which we are discussing on the various capacity building initiatives which to be done with the committee for members in practice. So I would like to thank honorable speakers of today's session, CA Mohit Patni ji and CA Vijay Agarwal ji, who is the secretary of the Jaipur branch of CIRC of ICI, which is the largest branch of the region, in which he is representing the top position in the branch, and they are going to deliver on various compliance issues with relevance to the tally and other aspects. So thank you both the speakers for giving your time. Of course, we are doing a lot of efforts in working in the committee for members in practice. Along with the various tie-ups, we will be coming up with soon the various audit tools and the GPT solutions for the consultancy for the professionals. And we are doing practice ki Pathshala on in every month in the Center of Excellences at Jaipur and Hyderabad. It will be a four nights residential program with 3 days of training for the members, which help us to build networks amongst each other. So a lot of initiatives are going to come under this committee, along with the networking summit and the national conferences, webinars, seminars. So I'll not take much of the time of the members. I'll ask our honorable speakers to take our session further. So thank you. Thanks a lot for your patience hearing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Rohit ji, for giving us the whole your way of doing the work and what you are planning to do in this current year. And now, just to give the theme of the today's seminar, I would just let you know that there are few law issues or law compliance issue which has come up in the recent past. So Vijay sir will tell you about the law compliances or what is the requirement of the law, and I will take care of how these law compliances can be complied with within the tally itself. We are not required to go with another softwares or do it in Excel or XYZ. We will see how all these compliances can be done within tally itself, and we can make our client compliant and our life more easy with the tally. So just to start, I will share my screen. So before we go ahead with the topic, I would just like to give you a brief about what exactly Tally is. So Tally was found in 1986 by a businessman Shyam Sundar Goenka and his son Bharat Goenka. Actually, they were having the business of textiles. So when they were doing the business of textiles, so everything was required to be done manually. Or the softwares at that time prevalent in market were normally the coded software in which the coding was required. So Bharat Goenka built a software for his in-house management, that is his textile business. So his father said that I need a software where no code is required. So in that way, the Tally started, and then they winded up their textile business and also moved to Bangalore and started this Tally software. So as of now, if I talk about the figures, so Tally is present in more than 100 countries and is used widely by registered users of 40 lakh base. It has a 40 lakh customer base and is focused on working on the technology and bringing all the new solutions which are required for a businessman in India to be compliant. So many of you have seen the journey of Tally. जो पुराने लोग हैं या जो the oldies हैं, they must have seen the screen that was greenish color. Then it came the ERP, and now we are in the version of Tally Prime. So the latest version of Tally is the Tally Prime. If I talk about what versions of Tally are available, which can help you and you can guide your clients also. So Tally is available in Tally Silver and Gold version. You can also have Tally on a rental basis. If you are having a work which is not 12 months a year, you can have Tally on rental also. Tally is available through a remote desktop also. Browser access is available. Cloud पे भी Tally available है. So there are n number of options in which you can use a Tally. If I talk about the latest release of Tally, so Tally release in this, the basic structure of Tally data has been changed. Earlier, it is the data which is stored in your computer was used to be a 5-digit folder. Now it has been converted into 6 digits, and there is internal changes into that. So one at any time when you migrate your Tally to a new version, it's a recommendation that you always take a backup of the Tally and then do the migration so that there is no data loss possibility. Before we go into the deep down into the topic, I would just like to post a question or solve a problem of many chartered accountants in practice, that we are doing the compliances of our clients. And so there are many compliances which are need to be done on month-to-month basis. Suppose the GST return filing. So now how we get the data of our clients? So normally what happens, we get the data through the mail or pen drives of the client, and we store it in our computer and then do the correction. Suppose there is a GSTR1 filing this month, which I think tomorrow is the last date for it. So now what we will get the Tally data of our clients on the mail. जो मेल पे Tally data आएगा, we will download it and store it in our computer. Then we will run in our own Tally. We will resolve all the issues of GSTR1 so that we get the proper JS1 file which can be uploaded to the portal. and then we will file the GST return. However, all the changes done on this tally data at our system is not reflected in the client system. And this goes on month. And when at the year end, we see the client's tally that there are n number of unreconciled entries and there are n number of issues in his data. So we need to rework again. So what is the solution for this? So let me tell you that there is a great solution available for it. That is the remote desktop access. Tally provides a remote desktop access. So what you need to do is you need to take your client's PC or client's Tally data on your PC with a remote desktop only. This is a inbuilt feature which has no extra cost involved. If your TSS is renewed, you can directly use this feature. Another option is the Tally on cloud. So if your client is ready to go on cloud, go for Tally on cloud and take access through cloud. So all the changes, all the data which you are taking or doing entries or doing corrections is done itself in the client's Tally, and it is not stored on your desktop. So this is a feature which I recommend all chartered accountants who are practicing and who are in the compliance having clients data in Tally. I will just in 2 minutes let you go through that how you can use this functionality in Tally itself. So if I go in Tally, so this is my Tally. Suppose this is the client's Tally. Now we are, is my Tally screen visible?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So this is my client's Tally, and now suppose he has this data of idea advertising. Now as in he wants to send this data to his CA. So normally what happens, he will go to the data folder, zip it and mail it. Now the second option, which is very feasible and which is very useful, what is it? He just needs to go into the company, create a user. So he needs to create a user in which he will select TallyNet Auditor as a user. He will assign the mail ID, your mail ID, the chartered accountant's mail ID here, and give him the right of Tally remote access. He just need to give him the right of Tally remote access. This much facility, if he does this much of the configuration in his Tally, and then he just needs to go at the company again and he just need to make sure that it is connected. There is an option given of connected. So once the Tally is connected, you will see a sign of C. Now, what does this mean? That Tally is remotely connected and the chartered accountant through his own Tally can view this Tally data using his TallyNet user ID and password. So this was the settings which are required to be done at the client side. Now we go at the side of an chartered accountant. So suppose I am on the chartered accountant PC now. I just go and I open the Tally Prime. This is the basic. I am on the chartered accountant PC and I am just opening the Tally Prime, which is installed in his Tally. It is not the client's Tally or client's PC. It is in his office premises. So as soon as I open the Tally, you could see where we will select the companies and online, you will find an option of select remote company. So he will go on the select remote company. He will put his mail ID, which he has given to his client, which was put in that security aspect, and put his password, which he was received on his mail, and just log in. So here you could see that idea advertising online is available here to him. Now he can directly access the Tally of the client on his PC and do all the compliances required to be done. He is not required to get any data. I have not shared any data. I have not transferred any data. However, still I am able to see all the required data. You could see that the GSTR 13B, I can open anything, I can download, I can file the returns at an ease. So while doing audits, while doing compliance, rather than doing the data here and there, then troubling that opening balances are not matching, there is a difference between the client Tally and the Tally stored at our office, start using such facilities which are free of cost, easy to use, and it will really ease your compliance practice a lot. So this is one of the basic tricks which I thought it should be known to everyone and which everyone should use it. And in this similar way, you can use the Tally on cloud functionality also, in which you will be able to run the client's Tally on the cloud. So this was one of the useful tricks I thought I should share with everyone. And now as we discussed that we will go through the basic new changes that have come in the law, that is the MSME changes. So there is a lot many changes in the MSME have been done, that MSME needs to report like this, MSME needs to make the payment to its creditor within 45 days. And there are n number of changes. So what is the law compliance? Vijay sir will take you through it. So up to Vijay sir, you can just explain what the law exactly requires in the case of MSME.
Yeah, thank you, Moji. First of all, I am thankful to the CMP committee for taking this initiative. I am also thankful to CMP chairman, C. Rohit Rubateji, Vice Chairman Umesh Sharma for providing me this opportunity. Well, today's session, I will highlight the legal provision of the 43B H section, so that after refreshing the section, we can take the tally, what is the feature inbuilt in tally. So just let me share the screen. Moji, is it visible?
Yes, it is visible,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
as we are aware, 43B section is introduced from this financial year, where certain deduction to be allowed only on the actual payment basis. Friends, as we are already aware, 43B section is already in existence from last many years, but this time a new section 43B H has been introduced. This will be effective from the financial year 2023-24, where I am just reading the section so that we can understand what is the meaning of this section, notwithstanding anything contained in any other provision of this act. So from where start of this section, the section is overriding the entire income tax act, notwithstanding anything contained in any other provision of this act. So here this section is overriding the entire income tax. A deduction otherwise allowable. Again, we should underline this section, a deduction otherwise allowable. So it means this section is hitting only those deductions which otherwise is allowable. Under this act, in respect of any sum payable by the assessee to a micro or small enterprises. Here I have underlined the micro or small enterprise word. Here it is saying only micro or small enterprises. What is micro or small enterprise? That we will discuss in the later screen. Beyond the time limit specified in section 15 of the MSMED Act 2016. Here you can see that section 15 is referred here only for defining the time limit. Any sum payable by the assessee to a micro or small enterprises beyond the time limit specified in section 15 of the MSMED Act. So in my view, section 15 is referred only for the time limit. Shall be allowed only in that previous year in which such sum actually is paid. So if any sum is payable to any assessee, which is micro or small enterprises, if we are paying the amount beyond the time limit, then it will be allowed in the year in which payment is actually made. When one thing we should be remember that in other sections or 43B, the deduction was allowed if we paid this amount up to the filing of the return, and there were some exceptions were there. But for this section, that exception has been removed, provided that nothing contained in this section except the provision of clause H. So it means that we understand in previous sections, okay, if we pay the amount before the filing of the return, this is not applicable for the 43B H. So if you pay within the time limit, then it will be allowed in the year on the actual basis. Otherwise, it will be allowed in the year in which you are paying. And what is the meaning of micro or small enterprises? For this explanation, for micro enterprise shall have the meaning assigned to it clause H of section 2 of the MSMED Act 2006, and small enterprises shall have the meaning assigned to it clause M of section 2 of MSMED Act 2006. So in income tax, there is no definition. No definition has been given in the income tax for micro or small enterprises. For the defining the micro or small enterprises, it has been referred to section 2H and 2M of the MSMED Act. If we go through the MSMED Act section 2H and 2M, so again what happened? Section 2 is saying micro enterprises means an enterprise is classified as such under subclause 1 of clause A of subclause 1 of clause B of section 7.1, and like that section 2H for small enterprise. So again, MSMED Act section 2H or 2M It is also not defining. It is referring to section 7(1). And what is section 7(1)? Excuse me. So section 1 is giving only the, excuse me for 1 minute, please. Yeah, sorry for the interference. So section 1 is only defining the limits of investment and turnover. And it is saying if your investment is less than 1 crore or turnover is less than 5 crore, then it is a micro enterprises. And if investment is less than 10 crore or turnover is 50 crore, then it is a small enterprise. So section 7(1) is not again defining the MSME, micro or small enterprise. It is only defining the turnover or investment limit. If the limit turnover or investment are within this limit, then it will be treated as micro or small enterprises. Friends, till that point, there is nowhere is mentioned that micro or small enterprise means the enterprise which is registered. Again, we are refreshing the income tax section where it is said that micro or small enterprises means the micro or small enterprises as defined in section 2H and 2M. And when we go through the section 2H and 2M, again it is referring to section 7(1). And when we go through the section 7(1), then it is saying that it is only based on the turnover and investment. So in up to this slide, in my view, micro or small enterprise means any organization which if their turnover or investment is less than this limit, then they are covered and falling under the micro or small enterprise definition. And now come to the definition of enterprises. Enterprise means an industrial undertaking or a business concern or any other establishment by whatever name called engaged in the manufacturing of production of goods and engaged in providing of service, rendering of service. So here enterprises word is defined. So we up to this we understand what is micro, what is small, and now we understand what is enterprises. So enterprise means only those organizations which are engaged in the manufacturing and production of goods and engaged in providing or rendering of service. So traders are excluded from the definition of the enterprises. So by this way, we can understand that traders are excluded from the MSMED definition, micro or small enterprise definition. Now, what is the procedure of registration and what is the importance of registration? For this, we have to refer the section 8. Here, the word memoranda is used in place of registration. So, memorandum micro small enterprises, any person who intend to establish a micro or small enterprises may at his discretion. So, we can understand any person who intend to establish micro or small enterprises may at his discretion shall file the memoranda of micro or small as the case may be. So here again we can understand it is not compulsory to get it registered. So if you want to register as micro or small enterprise, it is your discretion if you file the memoranda. If this will be the compulsory, then there must be the shall word. Now refer to the section 15, which talk about the payment time limit. Here, first time the word supplier has been used, and this is the most confusing word. Because of that, the whole confusion whether MSME should be registered or not. Here confusion start from the supplier word. Where any supplier supply any goods or render any service to any buyer, the buyer shall make payment therefore on or before the date agreed upon between him and supplier in writing. And where there is no agreement before the appointment. So what is section 15 is time limit as per section 15. If there is agreement, then before the date defined in the agreement. And if there is no agreement, then before the appointed date. Provided that in no case the period agreed upon between buyer and the supplier shall exceed 45 days from the date of acceptance. So what this means, if there is agreement, then before the date of agreement, and that agreement period cannot exceed 45 days. And if there is no agreement, then within 15 days. This is the time limit defined as per section 15. Appointed day, as we understand, the day following immediately after the expiry of the period of 15 days. So this is only defining the 15 days. You have to make the payment after within the 15 days. Day of acceptance, the day of actual delivery of goods or rendering of service. In the MSME Act, entire 15 days or 45 days is defined and it has to be calculated with the day of actual delivery or day of rendering of service, not day of billing. So it has to be taken care while deciding the day of 15 or day of 45 days. We have to take care the day of actual delivery of goods or rendering of service. And if there is any dispute between the buyer and seller, and his objection is made in written by the buyer regarding acceptance of goods or service within 15 days, then the 15 days or 45 days, whatever is, that will be counted when the objection is removed. So here we have to take in care that if there is delay and there is any objection, so again when objection is removed, 15 days or 45 days shall be calculated from the day when objection is removed. My one question is there, if suppose there is a agreement of 3 days, so whether there will be a counting, we will take 3 days or 15 days. Are you able to answer in chat box? I am again repeating my question. If my agreement says that you have to make the payment within 3 days, so as being an auditor, shall we count for reporting 3 days or 15 days? Any guess, any answer? No problem. If we count, if there is an agreement of less than 15 days, then the day will be only the less than 15 days. There is no maximum 15 days or 45 days. So we have to understand that if there is agreement, then we have to take the day defined in the agreement, but it cannot exceed 45 days. And if there is no agreement, then 15 days has to be taken while deciding whether 43BH is attracting or not attracting. Now the whole confusion start from definition of the supplier. Till this, we understand what is micro or small enterprises, and supplier word first time come in section 15, which was for the time limit. So supplier means a micro or small enterprises which has filed a memoranda with the authority. It means that supplier means for this purpose, for this entire MSME Act means supplier means only those micro or small enterprises which are registered. If we ignore this supplier definition, then nothing. There is no condition that it should be registered. All enterprises which has the limit of turnover or limit of investment as per section 7, they are micro or small enterprises. But if you have to become a supplier, then it means you have to register. But this supplier definition is very wide. It says supplier means a micro or small enterprise which has filed a memoranda with the authority referred to in section 81 and includes. Now I am jumping just to the third point. And include any company, cooperative society, trust, body, by whatever name called, registered or constituted under any law for the time being in force, engaged in selling goods or produced by micro or small enterprises and rendering service which are provided by such enterprises. It means any company, whatever is the turnover, whatever is the investment, for this, if we go through the supply definition, if they are selling, they are producing the goods produced by the MSME, they will also be treated as supplier for this section, supplier. So what now up to this, we have to understand whether while deciding the audit, which MSME supplier has to be reported or not, whether it should be registered or not, you have to take your opinion. In my view, if we go through the income tax definition, there is nothing is mentioned that it should be registered. Again, I am refreshing the slides so that again we can go through section, main section, micro or small enterprises, any sum payable to the assessee to a micro or small enterprise beyond the time limit specified in section 15. And what is micro or small enterprises? As per section 2H and 2M. It is referring to the section 2H and 2M of the MSMD Act. And what is saying 2H and 2M? It is referring to the section 7.1. And 7.1 what is saying? If you have the turnover less than 1 crore or 5 crore, then you are micro, and if your investment is less than 10 crore, turnover 550 crore, then you are the small enterprises. So till date, there is no where decided that you have to be registered. And if we go through the enterprise, again it is saying that you only engage in the manufacturing and production of goods or engage in providing or rendering of service, that will be the enterprise. So the confusion starts from the section 15. And section 15's word use a supplier, and supplier include only those micro or small enterprises which are registered. So now you have to frame the opinion whether what we have to take in, whether the only those micro or small enterprises which are registered has to be taken care, or which are not registered, that also has to be taken care. I have just shown the what is the legal provision. So now again a new again a further provision, section 16. This is not the new section. It was earlier in the MSME Act, but nobody was aware about this section. But when the MSME provision comes in the income tax, then everyone is aware. What does section 16 say? Where any buyer fails to make payment to the supplier as required in the section 15, the buyer shall, notwithstanding anything contained in the agreement between the buyer and supplier of in any law or for the timing in force, be liable to pay compound interest with monthly rest to the supplier from the appointed day or from the date immediately following the date agreed upon, and 3 times of the bank rate notified by the Reserve Bank. It means if you are not making the payment within 15 days or 45 days, whatever is the case, then you have to pay the interest at the compound, then you have to pay the compound interest with monthly rates at the 3 times of the normal banking rate. Whatever is your agreement, apart from section 43BH, we have to take care also the interest portion, whether provision has to be made or not. It is up to you. You have to decide whether it is affecting the my true and fair view of the balance sheet and P&L account. So if there is any delay in the payment to the MSME, we have to think about the provision for the interest. As per MSME Act, it is compulsory and it is overriding all the law, all the agreements. And again, you have to disclose this interest in your annual account. It is the duty of the account preparer. First, we have to make the provision of the interest, and then we have to disclose whether how much is the interest has been account for in the account and how much is paid. Entire there are some 2-3 points are there. So you have to show the interest due and paid and payable and outstanding in your books of account. So as being an auditor, if these are not compliant, then we have to again rethink whether our accounts represent the true and fair view or not. Again see the what is the vast effect of this MSMED Act. Interest not to be allowed as deduction under Income Tax Act. The MSMED Act is saying and overriding the Income Tax Act. It is saying, notwithstanding anything contained in the Income Tax Act, the amount of interest payable or paid by the buyer under the MSMED Act shall not, for the purpose of computation of income under the Act, be allowed as deduction. So at the one time, you are not able to get the deduction, and either you have to make the provision. The most demanding question, whether section 43BH is applicable to section 44AD or not, because section 43BH is overriding the entire Income Tax Act, and 44AD is overriding the section 28 to 43. So again, the confusion is there. So let's read the section 44AD. Section 44AD start with notwithstanding anything to the contrary contained in section 28 to 43. So 43BH what is saying? What is saying 43BH? Notwithstanding anything contained in any other section of the Act. So the 43B section is overriding entire Income Tax Act, and 44AD what is doing? It is overriding the section 28 to 43. Then what will happen? So in my view, I am taking two plea how 44AD prevail. One is 43BH is a general section which is overriding the entire income tax, but 44AD is overriding only the specific section. So where there is a dispute between the general section or specific section, so specific section will prevail. So first point in my favor, why 44AD will prevail? 43BH overriding on a general section, but 44AD overriding for specific section 428 to 43. Second, please, first come the 43BH section, whatever it is saying, then come the 44AD, and 44AD the previous section. So by this way, in my view, 44AD will prevail, and 43BH will not be applicable in the case of section 44AD cases. And what about the other cases? There are some assessee which neither covered under the audit or nor covered under the 44AD. Then what will happen? In my view, 43BH section will be applicable on those assessee which are covered under, not covered under audit or not covered under 44AD. So only exclusion is only the assessee covered under section 44AD. They are covered under the section 43BH. And trader, as we already discussed in previous section of the definition of the enterprises, trader are covered under trader are not covered under the MSMED Act, and there were some circular notification is there. That notification itself says that trader are covered on MSMED only for the lending benefit purpose, not for any other purpose. So if there is any trader which are covered or which are registered in the MSME, 43BS section will not be applicable to the trader. Trader are included in MSME only for the lending benefit purpose. So if there is any question, you can put in the chat box. And now I hand over the session to the Mohit sir. He will take care the provision, how we have to handle this MSME in the tally. Now over to you, Mohit sir.
Thank you, Vijay sir, for giving us the complete logic behind the law and what is the requirement of law and how we can be compliant. So now let us go on the tally and see how all these compliances can be managed within tally itself. We are not required to go to another software or do all these compliances in tally. We just need to be smart and get all these things done in tally itself. So is my screen visible? Tally visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So first and foremost thing is that this feature is available in the latest release of Tally, that is Tally Prime 4.1. So just go to the Tele website and download Tele 4.1 version and install in your computer so that you can use all the features relating to MSME. Now, the first and foremost thing where we need to do is that first we need to tell our buyers, our suppliers that whether we are registered in MSME or not. So सबसे पहला काम जो हमें करना है वो ये करना है कि are we registered in MSME or not, we need to showcase. So what is the best thing for it, that whenever we print an invoice or something, the MSME number goes along with that. So how to do that setting in Tele? We just need to go in the F11 features. So suppose this is my company, I will go in the F11 feature. In F11 feature, if I go to the more details option that is in the right side, you could see that I have an option of MSME registration details. So I need to select that which type of MSME I am, micro, small or medium, and what is my Udyam Aadhaar number. Once I go and displayed here, then all the information this will be displayed in the invoice that I am going to print. So pehla kaam, first work, what we need to do is that we need to mention our MSME number if we are registered under MSME. So this is the first compliance. Now comes on the second side, that whether our supplier, whether our buyer are registered in MSME or not, and where we can keep their MSME numbers and how we can store it. So it's again simple that we go into the ledgers of the parties, and when we go into the ledgers of any of the party, so here again related reports, more details. In more details, you have an option again to register the MSME. So your vendor or your buyer, is it registered under MSME or not? You can just mention here that yes, it is registered under small and this is his Udyam Aadhaar number. So in this way, you have upgraded the ledgers of your party in which the MSME details have been mentioned. Tele will bifurcate whether it is registered under MSME or not through this. One more important thing, if you are under MSME registered, so you need to give the number of days. कि MSME report जब भी बनेगी तो उसमें number of days क्या लेने हैं, whether it has to be 15 days or 45 days, or in future suppose there is change in the law and it becomes 60 or 20 or anything. So can you give that default number of days also for the MSME report? Yes, you can give. It is again there. It was in F11, more details. When we go into MSME to credit days, so it asks us, will credit period agreement with allowed days? So if there is an agreement, as Vijay sir told, if there is an agreement, maximum days are 45 days. If there is no agreement, then maximum days are 15 days. So by default, Tele will give you the reporting as per these days. Now let us go and see what type of reports are available in Tele. So again, we go into the statutory section and you could see the new section has been given here, that is the MSME reports. यहाँ पे first पहले GST reports आता था, now you will find an MSME report section also. So here an option is given where you can update your party details. If you want that all your parties, you want to update the MSME numbers of all of them, you can just add there and you can just keep adding each one of them. Okay, so this is how you can update the list of all your vendors from a same screen. Now let us go and see the MSME Form 1 report, how it shows. So this is how it shows that this is serial number, party name, amount outstanding, due date, due as per MSME and overdue by days. So here you could see that it is showing due as per MSME. So can there be a chance that someone's dates as per MSME be different and actual as per the agreement can be different? Yes. So let us see this situation. So here if we go into the party and see that the credit days which have been set by the party is 60 days. Because as per the agreement, the credit given to him is 60 days. But because as per the MSME Act, only maximum 45 days is allowed. So it has calculated the overdue days as per MSME Act. Now let me go and change it through here. So when we press F12 in this report, it gives us an option that you want the report by bill-wise details or MSME, on bill-wise or MSME, whichever is earlier. So आपको जिस भी तरीके से रिपोर्ट देखनी हो तो आप देख सकते हैं. तो अगर हम अभी देख रहे थे जो रिपोर्ट, दैट वाज इन MSME क्रेडिट पीरियड. सो अगर आप MSME क्रेडिट पीरियड में देखेंगे तो जो बता रहा है दैट इज 393 days. Now we go and we convert it into bill wise dates. So you could see that it is 378 days. It has been reduced by 15 days because as per bill dates it was 60 days, but as per MSME it was only 45 days. So Tele has given an inbuilt functionality where it automatically creates a report of MSME for you to keep a control over it. Now if I want to print this report, so that my MSME compliance can be done, because every private limited also needs to file the half yearly form in MSME 1. So that can also be generated through Tally itself. So I go to the print share, I go and I submit on the written form. So let me go through the preview of it. So if I go and see that this is the preview of MSME 1 form, which every private limited company is required to submit half yearly. So this is the form which will be very helpful for you to do the compliances. So you could see all the bill details are shown here with the total, which will help you to make the compliance easy. So this is the MSME 1 report, which shows you how and which bills are overdue for more than the 45 days period. So this is how MSME can be controlled within Tally itself. So what we have learned for MSME, that how we can set our own MSME registration number just by going into F11 features, more details. Here we can just set there. Then we can update the number of days as per the agreement, and without days, what form of report you need. Then simply we need to go in DOG section and DO section and see the MSME reports, statutory reports के section में. So this is how the compliance made by law applicable for financial year 2023-24 can be complied within Tally itself. So this was about the MSME thing. Now let us go to the another aspect, that is the GST. So Tally Prime with GST updates. Now GST has become one of the most used feature of Tally, because every compliance, every month we need to do the GST compliances. So what all functionalities Tally Prime latest versions have? So let us go through that quickly. So one more important function is the multi-state GST. There are many clients of us who are having their GST numbers in multi-states. Normally what they are doing is they are preparing different tallies for all their GSTs. But the functionality is there in Tally itself that you can in single Tally maintain multi GSTs. So let's see how it can be done. Again, we go to the F11 features. And in F11 features, when we go into the GST details, so it gives, you can see that I have already had 2 GST numbers. I can go and create one more. So I go and I say here that yes, I want to have one more GST number, and it is belongs to Rajasthan. It is primary. I can even set the addresses of all GST numbers, so that whenever I go and do the billings, तो राजस्थान GST नंबर से बिल करो तो राजस्थान का एड्रेस जाएगा, कर्नाटका से बिल करो तो कर्नाटका का एड्रेस जाएगा. So this way I can go and do address configurations also. Is it regular composition or what? Then my GST number, it will ask me my GST number here. Is my return monthly or quarterly? I need to give that e-way bill invoice details, and I just go. You could see here, if I have to add another GST registration, I can just press yes or else no. Suppose I said no. Now it asks me that whether you want to create the different voucher series also for them. Why this is important? Because Rajasthan sales invoice series might be different, Karnataka sales series might be different. So you can set different voucher series for your different multi GST purposes also. As soon as I am going to press yes, and I can select here that yes, for sales I want a different series. I go create a series, voucher number series. So I give the series name as Rajasthan. Method is automatic manual override. Then I give prevent. So again, and good important feature I will explain here is the automatic numbering. So what used to happen in the earlier versions of Tally is that suppose we have raised an invoice of one sales 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now because of some reasons we need to delete the sales invoice 4. So as soon as we used to delete the sales invoice 4, the sequence of the coming invoices changes. The sales invoice 5 becomes the 4, 6 becomes 5. But now Tally has come up with the feature that you can retain your original invoice number. So even if from between sales invoice number 4 I delete, then also the invoice sequence of rest will not change. Sales invoice 4 will become blank. So what it is asking is prevent creating duplicate voucher number. So I said yes. Set alter additional numbering details. I said no right now. And I do this. So our different series have been created for my Rajasthan GST number automatically now. So in this way, you could see now one more GST have been added with the name of Rajasthan here. So now I have 3 GSTs, and I can invoice all 3 GSTs from here. I can file all GST returns using single tally. So now let's go and see how invoicing will be done. If I have 3 different GSTs, so it is very simple. Suppose I go and do the sales. So it is asking me sales आपको कौन सी करनी है? Which voucher series you want to employ, default or Rajasthan? So I said default. You could see that the GST registration has been selected at the top. It shows Karnataka registration. Means the sales invoice which I am going to bill is going to go in the Karnataka registration. I want to change it. So I go here in the right company registration. I say it has to be Rajasthan. So by Rajasthan, it has taken and we have started registration. So now whatever invoice I am going to build here, it will go in my Rajasthan registration and Rajasthan GST returns and not in the Karnataka. So suppose I go and I do this billing. So I have selected this item. I press 1, quantity rate 100. So this way I can just do the entry. Suppose I have done this entry and I just press Control A. It gives me an error that there is an error in the so this way I have done the GST entry within the Rajasthan. Now I go in the GST returns and see whether I can file the GST returns of different GSTs from here itself or I need to do anything else. So I go in the GST details. Suppose I want to file the GSTR1. So you could see here that it is showing the all registrations. So this GST return here, the GST data is shown for the all GST registration. That is all. Now I just want the details of suppose Karnataka. So I just go here and I choose this Karnataka registration. So it will show me the Karnataka registration GSTR1. Now if I am going to export from here, it is going to export just the Karnataka GST and not the any other. So in this way, I can go and do the Rajasthan, I can go and do the Karnataka. So multi GSTs can be maintained within one tally. All GST returns can be filed within this tally itself. You are not required to maintain n number of tallies. Another important feature which tally has given is that you could see here that the status is not signed. Not signed means is that the return has yet not been finalized. They have given you a sign off option that once you have filed your return, you can just sign off. What is the easiest way to sign off is mark as signed. As soon as I go and click here, mark as signed, it will ask me that yes, your return is final or not. If you want to mark it signed, you can mark it as signed. As soon as I will sign it as marked, then post that sign off, if there is any change in the data which is impacted by this month GST return, it will go in uncertain transactions automatically. It will not impact my return data, so that whenever I check and compare my GST data with my books in the GSTR 3B or 1, it is always matching. So they have given an option of an sign off, that you can sign off the return as soon as you have filed this return. So this is another unique feature which Tally has bring in of sign off. Another good feature of Tally, if I talk about, is the effective date feature. So if there is any change in, suppose there is change in the registration, suppose my registration was regular till now and now I have changed it to the composition. So what can I do it? Yes, very easily. What I need to again do is I go in the GST and suppose I go in the Rajasthan number. Till now it was in regular. Now I say that from particular date it has been changed to composition. So पहले क्या होता था कि जैसे ही मैं कंपोजिशन या किसी में चेंज करता था तो वो मेरी सारी पीछे की रिटर्न्स और वो सब मिसमैच हो जाती थी. नाउ टेली हैज कम अप विद एन फीचर ऑफ इफेक्टिव डेट, कि किस इफेक्टिव डेट से ये कंपोजिशन होगी और उससे पहले ये रेगुलर रहेगी. तो सपोज आई चूज हियर कंपोजिशन, so it will ask me the effective date, कि from which date you want this to be a composition dealer. So I say, so it gives me 4 options. I can type my own data also. Suppose I say current date, कि जो आज सिस्टम की डेट आ रही है उस डेट से मेरा ये कंपोजिशन में कन्वर्ट हो गया. तो नाउ फ्रॉम मे मंथ व्हेन आई सी गो इनटू द जीएसटी रिपोर्ट्स, I will get GSTR 4 form and not the GSTR 1 and 3B form, because for this GST number my status has been changed to composition. And if I go in the April month, I will get the GSTR 1 and 3B form. So this is the power of the effective date. So where it is more useful, suppose there is your vendor. Now you have a vendor basically. So your vendor, it was registered as an, suppose, e-commerce operator earlier. Now it has been changed to regular. So many a times it happens that our vendor was unregistered earlier and now he has taken the registration. तो क्या होता था कि पहले के जितने भी हमारे ट्रांजेक्शंस थे वो B2C में गए हुए थे, and once the GST number has been taken, now all transactions will go in B2B. So while earlier what used to happen is, as soon as we put the GST numbers, वो earlier transactions को भी B2B में ले जाता था हमारी reports में, पर अब ऐसा नहीं होता. Now it will always ask you the effective date. So you make any changes in respect of GST, it will always ask you the effective date. So चाहे you are changing in anyone's ledger, you are changing in your master, your status has been changed from active to inactive or anywhere. So let's go and see that. I go and see it is a regular. Again, it will ask me from which date this has become effective. So earlier it was an e-commerce operator and now it has become a regular assessee. So every place I need to mention the effective date. One more important feature or one more important aspect of this effective date is, suppose you have a purchase voucher. Now while filing the returns, or you have missed it and now you are entering it, so you can mention the effective date, that in which effective date you would like to take the impact in the GST returns. So suppose you have missed a sales bill in the GST return, and while you have not made the entry in the tally and you have filed your GST returns, now you are entering your sales bill of the back date. So you can mention the effective date. So this effective date means that when this will give the impact in the GST returns. You can just use this more detailed features. In more details feature, you need to mention the effective date. That what is the effective date of this voucher. जो भी आप इस इफेक्टिव डेट में डालेंगे तो उसमें जाएगा. सपोज करो एक अप्रैल का सेल्स का बिल था जो आपकी टैली में चढ़ने से रह गया. नाउ यू हैव ऑलरेडी फाइल्ड दी GSTR1 ऑफ अप्रैल मंथ. Now you are putting this bill into the April month date. But however, this will go in the May month return. Earlier, what used to happen is we need to put this bill manually on the GST portal. But now Tally has given you the option of effective date. So suppose I put it as the 1st May. Now what will happen? This for the GST return purpose will go in the May month return and not in the April month return. Automatically, when you will create a JS1 or you will create an Excel file for the GST return, you will get this invoice also with the invoice date mentioned as April month. So it is an important feature whether you are recording a sales bill or a purchase bill later than you have filed your GST returns, you can put the effective date. So it automatically gets involved in the next month return. So these are the 2 features relating to GST which are very much important. We need to inculcate all these features and train our clients also to use, so that the GST return filed is very accurate. Now there used to be a very much confusion regarding the HSN, SSE code, HSN, description, tax rates. Again, they have given a good feature that you can maintain HSN codes at a various levels. So you can maintain it at a ledger level, you can maintain it at a stock level, you can maintain it at a company level, or even at the voucher level. So I will give you an example, basic example, what the problem we used to face earlier, which is very much resolved now. So suppose we got a invoice from our vendor of a stationery items. Now in that particular one invoice, we have few items which have a percentage of 5% and few are having the percentage of 18%. What we used to earlier do is we used to create 2-3 different ledgers: packing expense 5%, packing expense 12%, packing expense 18%. But it is not a right way, because it gives a lot many ledgers into the expense side. Then we need, while we are doing the audit or we are finalizing the books, we need to merge all of them. So now what you just need to do is, while creating this packing expense ledger, you need to mention that GST is applicable, and in the options given there are 4 options as per company. Means आपने company level पे GST rates specify कर दी, वो automatically वही GST rate उठाएगा. Specify details here, अगर आप specify details here करते हैं, मतलब ledger के अंदर अगर आपने details specify कर दी तो it will put the ledger details. Use GST classification अगर आपका कोई GST classification है तो. Otherwise specify in voucher that I will specify the rate in the voucher itself. So I have taken that as specify in voucher. Now what happens, as soon as I select packing expense and put an amount, it will ask me here that what is its taxable rate. So I put it 5%. What is its HSN? I put it this. Now again I selected the packing expense. This time what I have done, I have selected the tax rate of 12% and a different HSN. So in a single voucher, in a single ledger, I am able to put different HSN rates, different description, and my GST gets calculated automatically. There is no difference if you go and see my GST calculations. If you go and see the GST tax analysis, so as per voucher and as per transactions, they are matching. So this is again a good option. Whether you want to see the GST classifications of a voucher, you need to just press Control O, GST tax analysis. It will give you कि क्या होना चाहिए था और क्या हुआ है. Is there any difference or not? So this is what we learned कि even at the voucher level in a ledger, we can put a GST rate and an HSN code. So this is another unique feature which Tally has brought in the latest release. So this was more or less about the GST features. Why we were discussing all this is because many a times whatever notices we are receiving these days of 17, 18 or 18, 19, 19, 20, these all belongs to the mismatches. Major notices received till date are because of the mismatch between the books, between 3B, between 1 and 3B, or 1 and e-way bill, or 1 and e-invoice. I think you all are aware that by Tally, you can seamlessly create e-way bills and e-invoice. While creating an invoice, you can directly create the e-way bill and e-invoice. Now let us see the feature of reconciliations. So GSTR 2A का reconciliation book से GSTR 1 का reconciliation book से, it has always been a hot topic which we need to take care of. So Tally has given a fantastic feature that within Tally you can just do all these things. So what you need to do is, when you go into the GST reports, you will find an option of GST reconciliations. So suppose I want to do my GSTR 1 reconciliation. So this is my March month return where I have filed a 15 invoices. So what I will do is, I will just go and import. So I go to the import option, GST returns. So I am importing GSTR1. I need to give the path where my file has been placed. So I go select from drive, desktop. So my file was put in the GST repo. So I have selected from here, and as soon as I have downloaded it, as soon as I uploaded it, you could see that I have got these 15. These blue marked invoices, all invoices are from the GST portal. That while filing GSTR1, all these have been given by you. And these, you could see that unreconciled 16. Total count is 16, current period 11, other periods 5. Only on portal are 14. Uncertain transactions. ये uncertain transactions Tally में है, आपको Tally में ठीक करने होते हैं. So once you go and see what is invalid or not specified. What is the problem here? HSN is invalid. So you need to put a valid HSN. So where we need to put a valid HSN? We need to put a valid HSN here. So as soon as we will put the valid HSNs here, all these entries will be reflected here and we will do the matching. Same way, if we want to do the GSTR 2A reconciliation, so we go to the GSTR 2A reconciliation. Again, we will go to the import GST returns. This time we will select GSTR 2A. We will give the path. यहाँ पे जो पाथ जो देना है आपको फाइल का, वो कौन सा देना है? जो भी आपने पोर्टल से GSTR 2A, 2B और 1 डाउनलोड करे हैं. You need not to change the format in which it has been downloaded in the JSON or in the zip file. You just need to give that format here. It will automatically read it and show it to you like this, that in the March month you have 2. You could see that in my books there is only 1 invoice of this 5 lakhs. In portal there are 2 invoices of these 5 lakhs, and there is a mismatch. It is unreconciled right now because there is a difference in voucher number. You could see that in my books the voucher number which I have given is 123, whereas in the portal the voucher number coming is, invoice number is DCO2324. So in this way, there is a mismatch of supplier invoice number. Now I think if I want, I need to match this. So what I need to do is just I need to select, and what I just need to do is I just need to select and status. I need to just update my status that I want this to be reconciled. So it gets into my reconciled transaction, reconciled manually. So in this way, we can just reconcile our GSTR 2A versus books and GSTR 1 versus books or GSTR 2B versus books. So this is a great feature, because if we do all these compliances in Tally and we make sure that there is no lacuna in this, the notices which we are receiving right now gets reduced automatically. So this is how the reconciliations in Tally can be performed for GSTR 1 and 2A. Now let us go and see various other features that are available in Tally or which can help us to make our life easy. So we have discussed the two basic detail features, that is the MSME and GST features in Tally. Now, before going ahead, let me tell you few important aspects relating to Tally. So this is again before for the GST purpose. The आपको जो भी e-commerce operators की जो भी requirement है, that e-commerce operator have paid the GST for the for against with reference to your billing, and you need to show them in the GSTR1. So that have already been updated in the Tally itself. So table 14A of GSTR1, you can get it from Tally itself. You will see, and you have seen the the option here when we are doing this, that when we go to the parties ledger, when we are creating any ledger, suppose Amazon, so it is giving me an option here that e-commerce operator. Now as soon as I have selected it as an e-commerce operator, so all these transactions will go in my 14A table. It will go in my 14A table. So this is just to showcase you that he is Mr. Bharat Goenka, the founder of Tally, and he is known as the father of accounting services. He holds the place in GST committee as well as the income tax committee of from the side of government of India, and government of India has given Tally as a, you could say, a notion that if Tally sleeps, India sleeps. Tally is in the blood of MSME. Tally runs a CA Connect program. So this CA Connect program is what? That every Wednesday from 3 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. there is a CA Connect program where you can join. You will get the live videos or the video or the Zoom meeting, wherein we keep discussing on the new features or the important features the Tally has got. If you want to see any videos of past, you could go to the Tally CA Connect site and you can see the past videos also from here. There is a Tally CA discount given. So especially for the CAs in practice, if you are CA in practice, you will get a good discount from Tally. So for checking that what discount is applicable on your membership number, you need to go to this website. You need to put on these information. When you go and search the eligibility, it will tell you. So a discount ranging from 50% to 80% is given by Tally, especially to the chartered accountants. So you can avail these options. Now, one more aspect or important aspect which is a hit to us or which is applicable in the financial year 2023-24 is the audit trail. So what is the importance of audit trail, how it implements, how it impacts us, and how we can maintain this audit trail within Tally itself. So before going into all this thing, I would request Vijay sir to just give us a brief about the requirement of audit trail, what is the law aspect of it, and what is the compliance we need to do for it. So over to you, Vijay sir.
Yeah, thank you.
You can we can keep it a little short for 5-7 minutes.
Yeah, welcome back again for the preparing the technical pitch. As earlier I prepared the technical pitch for the 43 PS. Now I am again preparing the technical pitch to Mohit sir for the audit trail. Audit trail is more important in case of the Tally because most of us are working on the Tally. So if we are assured that Tally has the audit trail feature, so we can confidently quote our report. So before that, let's discuss what is the notification is saying. The notification come in 2021 and it says provided that on or after. First time it was from the 1st April 2021, but again after postponement, now it is applicable from the 1st April 2023. So provided that for the financial year on or after 1/4/2023, every company who uses accounting software, so it means this notification is applicable only for accounts or for by any accounting software. So every company which uses accounting software for maintaining books of account shall use only such accounting software which has a feature of recording audit trail of each and every transaction. Means if you are using any accounting software for accounting of any company, then you have to use only that accounting software which has the feature of recording audit trail and creating an audit log of each changes wherever any change in the accounting or any books of account in the software, then there must be a log of each change made in the books of account along with the date when such changes were made and ensuring that the audit trail cannot be disabled. So the notification is clear cut, has notified all the features, all the things what they need in the audit trail. So I am reading again this. Any company which is using any accounting software, it must use only that accounting software which has the feature of recording audit trail or each and every transaction with edit log of each change, and edit trail cannot be disabled. There must be some provision. So this notification is itself is clearly say all the things. So that, but again the question, what is audit trail? So audit trail has not been defined in any of the company act. But in the general meaning, audit trail can be defined as a chronological sequence of the history of a particular transaction. So in my view, I have noted down the what is the meaning of the chronological sequence or particular transaction. I have simplified by making these questions. So audit trail means any log which can give the answer that who created, who changed, who deleted, time of creation, what was the time of creation, what was the time of modification, what was the time of deletion. Everything, every information should be stored in the backend part of the software. And I have also put two more questions: why modified, why deleted. These are not the part of the audit trail, but in future this question will also be the important part. Why some question, why some transaction is deleted or modified, why there was some modification, deletion or changes. So this question may also be important, but again, I think you may understand what is meaning of the audit trail. Again, so when we put our audit report, the other matter to be included in audit report, and clause or G has been added to the main audit report in other matter to be included in audit report. So what is the clause G? The audit report shall also include their view or comment on the following matter: whether the company in respect of financial year commencing on or after 1st April 2023, we will read it as a 23, has used such accounting software for maintaining its books of account, which has a feature of recording audit trail. Means auditor has to comment in clause G whether the company is using such software which has the feature of recording audit trail facility, and the same has been operated throughout the year. This is again question number 2. For all transaction, question number 3, recorded in the software and audit trail feature has not been tampered. Point number 4, and the audit trail has been preserved by the company as per the statutory requirement for record retention. The auditor has to report in their report as per clause G in 5 questions: whether audit trail feature was there, whether there was a feature of audit trail or not, that audit trail has been operated throughout the year, and this audit trail covered all the transaction, and audit trail has not been tampered. And last one is the audit trail has been preserved as per the record retention policy by of the company or the company law. So you have to take care of these 5 questions while reporting your audit report in clause G. Now question arises, what is the books of account for audit trail? Because in the main notification it has used the word if the company is using any software for maintaining its books of account. So the question comes whether, so before that let's define what is the books of account. Section 213 of the Company Act define books of account. Books of account include record maintained in respect of all some money received and expended by a company and the matter in relation to which the receipt and expenditure by the company, the asset and liability of the company, the item of cost as may be prescribed. So it means it's a broad definition. So books of account means whatever, if there is any software which are recording transaction related to inventory, production, assets, liability, income, expenditure, payroll, whatever, all are part of the books of account. So if any software used for any part of the book, even if any part of the books of account, then in my view, audit trail feature should be there. Some question were there from member. Suppose we are using software only for billing purpose. So what will happen? Other books are maintained in the only on the manual basis, but we have the billing software. So in my view, for that billing software purpose, we must have the audit trail feature, because it says any software, if you are using any software for maintaining books of account, then the software must have the feature of the audit trail. So in my view, all software used for any transaction of the above nature should have the feature of audit trail. What we have to report, I have already explained. Again, I'm repeating whether the audit trail feature configuration, can it be modified? Yeah, this question should be in your mind. Whether the feature enabled, operated, available throughout the year, whether all transactions covered in the audit trail feature, whether the audit trail has been provided as per the record retention requirement. So while reporting, we have to take in care of all these 5 questions as I already discussed. Now the question comes, suppose audit trail is there, suppose features is there, recording is there, but when we study the audit trail and there are some suspected transaction are there, some deletion there, some modification there, what will happen? So first we have to understand this audit trail in 2 ways. One is only for the audit trail reporting. Then if the company is using the audit trail, then our requirement is okay. We have to report that audit trail is there. Audit trail is maintained throughout the year. Audit trail cover all the transactions. It has not been tempered or disabled during the year, and it has been present for the whatever is the record retention requirement. But the side effect of his audit trail is, if you are using the audit trail and you come to know that some transactions are modified and there are some entry on one day or there are some back days entry, what will happen? This is the side effect of the audit trail. In that case, you have to take care whether the things which appear in the audit trail, whether it hamper the true and fair view of the books of account. Because section 43b, section 143 1 of the act requires the auditor to state in his audit report whether the company has adequate internal financial control system. So in my view, if there is some audit trail, though there is another question, audit trail one, you have to report in clause G. Second, if there is audit trail is disabled or tempered during the year, then this clause will also attack adequate internal financial control system is there or not. This reporting will also hampered. And third one is hampered will be if there is some suspected transaction, then you have to check whether it affects the true and fair view of the books of account, or whether there is some manipulation is there. So the audit trail feature will have the vast effect on our reporting. And I am make some two conclusion. If a company does not use any software for maintaining books of account, then this clause shall not be applicable. This is applicable only if the company using any software for maintaining books of account. And all software will be part of audit trail. Whether only a small process of recording of process is being done through software, so that will also be a part of the audit trail feature will be applicable. So we have to take in care 3 things on the audit trail. One is reporting of the audit trail itself. Second is impact of the audit trail. If there is some tampering, there is some disablement, if there is change in the audit trail, whether it will affect the internal control system. And third one is the side effect of the audit trail. if there is some backdate entry and books has been prepared on one day, then whether we have to check, taken care whether our true and fair view is hampered, or whether we have to report that books are not regularly maintained. There are many other questions which you have to see what we have to do. And these are not much important for this session. There are some panel consequences, because my purpose was only to go through the provision of the audit trail, so that now I am handing over the session to the Mohit Patniji, who will take care whether the tally has the feature of audit trail or not, whether we required any certificate from the tally. Mohit sir. Yeah, Mohit sir, please unmute.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Mohit sir, I have 2-3 questions from this session. First thing, whether the tally has the audit trail feature or not, whether there is some disablement, there is some tampering is possible is there or not, and third one question is whether any certificate can be provided by the tally or not, because as being an auditor, I am not able to judge the tally whether it has the audit trail feature and whether there is some temperament is there or not. So can we receive the certificate from the tally that our software has all the feature as per the notification? So from my side, 3 questions is there for you, and now it is hand over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for a great explanation that what exactly the law requires in this case. So I would like to start addressing your 3 questions first so that it gets clarified. Tally, yes, it has the audit trail edit log feature available, which is very handy. So you just need to go to the tallysolutions.com and just you need to download the version of tally edit log. So suppose I go to this tally solution site and I go here and see the products. So as soon as you go and see the products in the Teleprime section, you will get that there is 2 versions of the Teleprime. One is your Teleprime edit log and one is the Teleprime itself. So you just need to go and download the Teleprime edit log. And once you start using it, you will just see on the left side of the top corner the Teleprime edit log version. So this is my Teleprime edit log version. And in a normal version, you will see just Teleprime silver. And in Teleprime edit log, you will see the Teleprime edit log version. Again, if it does not require any extra cost, it is inbuilt in your subscription TSS which you have paid. It is just a version difference. Once you have implemented the tally edit log and you are doing the entries or you are maintaining the books into it, the edit log cannot be closed in this version. If you want that the edit log needs to be closed, or I want to close the edit log version, it cannot. As soon as you are using this edit log version, the edit logs audit trail starts creating at it itself. Now, what is the start date of it and how we can see that from when the company has started using it or from which transaction the company has started using it? So for that, you need to go into the company section. Here you will see the edit log. It will show you the versions. You could see that this has come into company data, migrated to Teleprime, company data migrated from Teleprime edit log. कब ये migrate हुआ है Teleprime से, कब ये edit log में गया, कब वापस आया, क्या हुआ है, किस डेट हुआ है, it will showcase you everything. तो what is master level पे ये कब कंपनी ने implement करा और कंपनी अगर इससे बाहर गई है तो वो कब गई है, which is very important for the purpose of reporting. So from which date it has been made applicable and when the company has gone out of it. This is the one aspect. Now let us see how we can check at the transaction level. So suppose I go into the day book. Now here I am seeing the 3 transactions have been given to me. I want to see its version, see its history. Is there any change or not into it? And what is the audit trail available for it? So what I need to go is I need to go into the basis of value. In basis of value, I need to select whether I need all vouchers altered or not altered. So suppose I say I need just altered vouchers. Include deleted vouchers. If there any vouchers have been deleted, then also the audit trail is maintained. So you want that audit trails? Yes. Type of vouchers. So I need all vouchers. So I just go and I just see that these are the 2 vouchers where alteration have been done. So suppose now I go into this voucher and see what alteration have been done into this. So I just go here. I will go into more related reports. In related reports, I will found edit log, or I could just press Alt Q. So you could see that these are the 3 things that it has been created here. It has been altered on 4th April and someone has altered due to migration on 4th May. So these are the reports already available. This is the creation data. दिस इज द ऑल्टरेशन डेटा कि क्या ऑल्टर किया था किसी ने, एंड दिस इज द माइग्रेशन डेटा. Suppose now let us do one change here. Suppose I go and I change the party, the house of beans, and control A. I have just made this change. Now I again go into this and I want to see that what are the changes. So again I go on the related. One more version have been created, altered, and you could see what have been altered. तो पहले इसमें क्या आ रहा था, पार्टी का लेजर ये आ रहा था, अब पार्टी का लेजर ये हो गया है. पहले इसमें सस्पेंस आ रहा था, अब इसके अंदर हाउस ऑफ बीन्स हो गया है. इस पार्टी लेजर यस हो गया है. तो जहां जहां पे भी चेंजेस हमने करे हैं वो ऑटोमेटिकली रेड में रिफ्लेक्ट. वर्जन किस डेट पे क्रिएट हो रहा है, किस टाइम पे क्रिएट हो रहा है, ये भी रिकॉर्डेड होता है. अगर आप ऊपर देखेंगे तो ये डेट क्रिएटेड है, ये 4 मई को क्रिएट हुआ था, और यहाँ पे आप जाके देखेंगे तो 10 मई को क्रिएट हुआ है. Has its record, every version has its date, time, and whatever the changes have been done have been reflected into red. Now suppose I go and I delete this voucher. I said कि मेरे को तो इसकी एडिट लॉग रखना ही था, कुछ नहीं तो मैं डिलीट कर देता हूँ. तो क्या डिलीट करने से प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो जाती है? सो आंसर इज नो. And I go here and the basis of values I say what I need is I need altered vouchers, I need deleted vouchers. So as soon as I do this and I go this, so it says me as a one is the deleted voucher. It has been highlighted here, and it gives me the complete history. ये कब alter हुआ था, ये कब delete हुआ था. So this is its alteration history and this is its delete history कि पहले इसमें डेटा था and now it has been deleted on 4th May at. So complete detail of the transactions have been recorded with its version. And once you are into edit log, you cannot destroy all these things. It is retained till your data is retained. Now, if we talk about the ledgers or the masters, which again requires, which is the part of my books of accounts, and I need to maintain the audit trail there also. So suppose I go in some ledger. So this is my ledger and I want to see that what the audit trail is relating to it. So I again go to the related reports, edit log. It gives me, it was created, it was migrated due to this. Now suppose we go and we do this, instead of debtors, we have changed it to creditors. So now let's go and see, is there any change in the edit log? So you could see that an altered have been created and it shows that it was earlier sundry creditors and now it has been moved to sundry debtors. So practically each and everything done by you in the tally is recorded, is having its own version and is kept safe until this data have been saved by you in your desktop or wherever you have kept it, wherever you have retained. So I think I have cleared most of the questions of Vijay sir also, and I have explained that edit log functionality, how it works in tally. One question left is that whether the any certificate is given by tally for this purpose or by it. So right now no certification is given, but yes, we are in the process and asking tally to give some certificate that the once you are maintaining your books in edit log, the audit trail is fully maintained here. So we hope that it will be received in coming days.
Boys, sir, as you are closely associated with the tally, so my request is this: the certificate should be addressed to the particular auditor, because when we are reporting any on the audit trail, so we are not competent to define or check the compatibility of the audit trail features. So the certificate should be provided by the tally to the particular auditor, where our software has all these features.
Yes, sir. Your point is noted, but practically the difficulty with the tally is that they cannot give this to the auditor or someone. Yes, for sure, they have said that we will give this to the company, the registered user, the license, the holder. The person who is the license holder will get a certificate inbuilt here that once he is using the edit log feature, all the audit trails required by the Companies Act have been maintained here. Because giving it to a particular auditor for the tally becomes a challenging task. But yes, let's see what the future is ahead. We are trying our best to get whatever is possible.
Yeah, sir. One question is one more question is there. Where this edit log is saved?
Sir, the edit log is getting saved in your tally data itself. The data folder of the tally.
Can you show the path where it is saved?
Sir, it is practically in this folder only.
It's a tally folder.
Yes, in this tally folder only you can data is saved, and it is in the encrypted format.
can we delete this audit trail file, or it is a
No,
log?
sir. No, sir. You cannot delete this because it is an encrypted file. Even if you delete it, it gets recreated automatically. Else your data will be corrupted. You will not be able to open your data. Your data will be
Okay,
lost.
so if I delete the audit trail, it means I will not be able to see directly from the backend the audit trail file.
Sir, your
Whether I
voice
will
is
be
break.
able to
Yes. Your
whether I will be able to open the file, edit log backlog file
No, sir. You
from
cannot
the
open
backend or not.
you cannot open the edit backlog file because it is an encrypted file which you will not be able to decrypt it. You can only see the edit logs in the tele screen, and
On
you
the
cannot.
software only, on the front end.
Yes, on the front end only. You cannot see it at the back end.
So I cannot delete the edit log file.
No, you cannot delete the edit log file. If you
Or
delete the edit log file, the tally data will be corrupted. Your tally data will be lost.
okay. Okay. And is there any plan whenever I am making any change? So the region should be asked by the tele or not, whether is there any plan like this? Because after when we are auditing and there are some audit log, long audit log is there, then how someone will be able to clarify why this transaction has been deleted, why this has been modified? So
Yes,
is there any
we have
future
asked.
plan of the tele?
Agreed, sir. We have asked tally that whenever there is a change in the transaction or something, you should give a remarks column that a person can maintain its remarks there. That why we are making the changes. So mostly in the coming version, that is Tele Prime 5, you will get that facility
Okay.
in edit log version only. Not on the normal version, but in the edit log version, you will get a facility where the remarks option will be given, that whenever there is a change in the data or change in anything relating to books of accounts, you will get a remark option you can mention there. So this was mostly about the edit log feature which is available in Tele. And now I would like to quickly mention you few of the important features of the Tele which is really very helpful and which everyone should use. So out of them, one is the payment gateway integration, that whenever you are creating an invoice from Tele, you have a facility inbuilt in Tele that you can create a payment scanner, QR code scanner, which goes along with your invoice or an ledger, and with a specific amount. So you just need to maintain a basic configuration. You just need to give your UPI ID here. Tally has its configurations with Paytm, PayU, and Razorpay. So you just need to mention your merchant ID or an your UPI ID, and a payment QR code will be generated. The person just needs to scan the QR code and can make the payment directly to your account. So it's a good feature which everyone should use. Then another important feature is the import from Excel. So when you in the latest release, when you go here at the import option, so you get an option to manage, and manage is through manage template or manage sample Excel files. So wherever you have the bulk data in Excel, suppose you are an e-commerce operator or you have a client who is an e-commerce operator, or a data is maintaining POS, another software where sales are booked, and now you want to do the entries in Tele. A great feature has been given that the Excel file generated out of that software can directly be imported in the Tele, and all entries will be posted in an auto mode. You just need to select an कि आपको मास्टर्स का चाहिए कि ट्रांजेक्शंस का चाहिए. So suppose I selected this transactions folder. I need to pass the transactions. You just need to give the path key on which path you need this sample file, and it gets exported. Now you just need to do is you just need to put the data in this Excel format and push that back to the Tele. So this is the one way of doing it where you want to use the Excel file template of the Tele. Another option is that you can use your own Excel file. Suppose this is, and I go and create a transactions. So I need to just select the Excel file, that which is my Excel file. So suppose from right now I select this Excel file from desktop itself. So I need to pass an accounting voucher or accounting voucher only. It will give me all the options कि मेरे को कौन सी कंपनी में इसको बनाना है. मेरे को इसका एक नाम देना पड़ेगा. टाइप ऑफ वाउचर मुझे अकाउंटिंग वाउचर बनाना है कि क्या बनाना है. एंड आई कैन जस्ट मैप दी फील्ड्स फ्रॉम हियर. सो सपोज आई से मेरा वाउचर टाइप का नेम है जो मैंडेटरी है. तो ये जितने भी आप कॉलम्स देख रहे हैं, ये सब मेरे वो एक्सेल के कॉलम्स थे जो मेरी एक्सेल शीट में थे. आई कैन जस्ट मैप इट कि मेरे को जो वाउचर का टाइप का नेम चाहिए वो यहाँ से चाहिए, मुझे कौन सी चीज कहाँ से चाहिए. And once I have done this, I can directly import the data in Tally at n number of times. मेरे को सिर्फ एक बार ये सेटअप करना है, उसके बाद मैं हर मंथ और हर डे की मैं सेल्स को, मेरे डेटा को, सबको यहाँ पे इंपोर्ट कर सकता हूँ डायरेक्टली. So this is another good feature which Tally has given. One more important feature is the WhatsApp. So you can incorporate WhatsApp within Tally. You can configure WhatsApp. The option is given in this share option, manage WhatsApp. So once your WhatsApp is integrated, you can share from here directly your invoices, your ledger, or any kind of reports to the parties on their WhatsApp itself. One more good feature that Tally has bring is the dashboard. You will find at your Tally main screen the dashboard screen. Here in the dashboard, you will get all the data relating to the dashboards. मतलब Tally has created automatically some dashboards where you will get कि मेरा cash flow क्या है, receivable, payable क्या है, and I can amend them, I can change them to n number of levels, I can create n number of dashboards. सपोज मेरे को मेरे सेल्स वालों के लिए एक डैशबोर्ड चाहिए, परचेज वालों के लिए एक डैशबोर्ड चाहिए, मैनेजमेंट के लिए एक डैशबोर्ड चाहिए, तो आई कैन क्रिएट नंबर ऑफ डैशबोर्ड्स हियर. Another important feature for being a chartered accountants and being into audit, and we are doing Tally, we get n number of clients जिनकी हमें Tally में audit करनी होती है. So there is a concept of save view. I don't know how many of you have used it, but save view is a great feature. Suppose I have this client called, I go and do it here. Suppose I want this. जब भी मेरे पास कोई क्लाइंट का डेटा आता है, तो आई वांट टू डू यू कुड से कंपैरिजन ऑफ लास्ट ईयर विद द करंट ईयर, एंड आई वांट टू चेक ऑल द परसेंटेज एंड ऑल. तो अभी क्या होता है, जब भी किसी क्लाइंट का डेटा आता है, तो मैं उस पर ये परफॉर्म करता हूँ कि मेरे को पिछले साल का यहाँ पे कंपैरिजन चाहिए. देन अगेन आई गो इनटू F12, आई प्रेस परसेंटेज कि मुझे परसेंटेज शो करा दो इसमें. एंड दिस वे जब भी किसी क्लाइंट का डेटा आता है, तो आई कीप ऑन डूइंग दिस थिंग रिपीटेटिवली. विद द सेव व्यू, व्हाट इज द गुड फीचर इज, सपोज आई वॉन्ट टू सेव दिस व्यू, कि मैं किसी भी कंपनी में जाके अगर इसको देखना चाहूँ, तो मुझे ये डेटा ऐसे दिख जाए. तो आई जस्ट नीड टू गो ऑन द राइट साइड एंड क्लिक ऑन द सेव व्यू फीचर, and I need to give him the name of this report. So I have written comparison P&L. So in comparison P&L, I have just mentioned कि किस कंपनी में चाहिए, all कंपनी में चाहिए कि इसमें चाहिए. So I have just saved it. Now suppose I am into this P&L and I want to see that report. तो मुझे वापस से सारे कॉन्फ़िगरेशन करने की जरूरत नहीं है. जस्ट नीड टू गो एट द गो टू, एंड आपको ये यहाँ पे मिल जाएगा कंपैरिजन. देखिए, जो आपने कंपैरिजन बनाया था वो आपको यहाँ पे मिल जाएगा. एज सून एज यू क्लिक इट, ये रिपोर्ट उसी फॉर्म में खुल जाएगी. और ये इसी कंपनी के लिए एप्लीकेबल नहीं है, आपकी टैली में आप कोई सी भी कंपनी चलाएंगे, विच एवर कंपनी यू रन ऑन दिस टैली, यू कैन सी ऑल दीज रिपोर्ट्स एट अ क्लिक. आपको कोई भी रिपोर्ट बार बार क्रिएट करने की जरूरत नहीं है. सपोज यू गो एंड क्रिएट अ फिल्टर इन द डे बुक दैट एनी कैश पेमेंट मोर देन 10,000. So now just do it once and save it. So it will give you for all companies. Apart from this, one more good feature is that is filtration. So in all data you need a filter. So पहले क्या होता था कि ये फिल्टर बहुत कॉम्प्लिकेटेड होता था, बट नाउ द फिल्टर इज जस्ट लाइक द गूगल, कि आपको अब इतनी सारी एंट्रीज के अंदर सपोज करो कोई एक फिल्टर चूज करना है. तो सपोज करो मैंने यहाँ पे एक बार नाम में मोहित डाल दिया इस नरेशन में. नाउ अब मैं इस पूरे डेटा के अंदर मैं कहता हूं जाके कि मेरे को आई नीड टू फाइंड वेयर एवर मोहित हैज बीन यूज्ड. वाउचर में लुक फॉर मोहित एंड आई जस्ट प्रेस एंट्री. तो आपको ये मोहित जहां जहां पे भी यूज आया हुआ था, वो सारे के सारे ट्रांजेक्शन मिल जाएंगे. इसमें भी आपको देखना हो, राज अग्रवाल वाले में मोहित कहां पे यूज आता है, नीड टू सेलेक्ट एंड सी द फिल्टर डिटेल. तो आपको पता लग जाएगा नरेशन में मोहित यूज आया हुआ है, कंटेनिंग मोहित. तो किस वाउचर में कहां पे कौन सा वर्ड यूज आया हुआ है, इफ यू वांट टू सर्च इन द कंप्लीट डेटा, यू कैन डू इट जस्ट एट अ क्लिक. सो ऑल टाइप्स ऑफ फिल्टर्स आर अवेलेबल. सपोज आई वांट टू again I go into daybook and I want to check what entries I have done on Sunday. So look for Sunday, कि संडे को कौन कौन सी एंट्रीज हुई है. तो ये चेक कर सकते हैं, ऑल दीज एंट्रीज हैव बीन डन ऑन संडे. सो एट अ क्लिक आई कैन चेक वॉट एवर आई वॉन्ट टू डू, जस्ट लाइक अ गूगल, की गूगल में हम जाके कुछ करते हैं. तो अगर टैली के डेटा में कुछ भी है, तो इट्स अ वेरी इजी फिल्टर दैट यू कैन यूज फॉर इट. So these are the features which everyone should use. There are n number of numerous features which we can talk about, and it's endless. At last, I want to take your 2 minutes to give you an idea that Tally is not just that what we are able to see. we can do n number of implementation, we can do n number of changes in the Tally. So whatever things we are doing out of Tally, we are using Excel for it or we are using another software for it, we can incorporate that itself into Tally. To give you just an example for it, suppose I want a trial balance in a different format. So what we have created is here that what is the ledger name, group name, what is the schedule name, what is the category name, what is the subcategory name, what it is asset or liability, debit, credit amount, everything. So this is the requirement of one of our client. They needed the trial balance in this format. So we have created this within Tally. So in Tally, anything can be created. There is no bar. You just need to think what type of report you need, what type of data analytics you need, that can be incorporated in the Tally itself. So for that, we always recommend that you do Tally customization and get all done rather than getting a new software or rather than doing it in the Excel manually. So suppose there is another good example as an auditor. What we can suggest to our clients is the document attachment thing. So I will just showcase you one thing here, that suppose in I go in a payment voucher mine. So I want that while doing the payment, they attach all the supportings here itself. So that as an auditor, when I check, I need not to go and check all files or something or anything. So what we have given here is an option of adding attachment. As soon as you go and do this, an option is given where the person can attach all its documents. So if he is having his PO, he can attach the PO. If he is having purchase, he can purchase approvals. He can attach any document here, and which is visible to the auditor when he is doing the audit or performing the audit, or whenever the data is required or need to be seen after years, it is readily available here. You are not required to go into your physical files and check it. So to an extent level, you need voucher approval system or document management system, any kind of reporting that is practically very easily available in Tally or can be done in Tally itself. So it's my high recommendation to all. Suggest your clients not to use multiple softwares. Try and stick to one software and get implemented everything here itself. I have seen at many places that for inventory, people use different softwares. But trust me, when you use Tally for the inventory, it has n number of features inbuilt in itself that you will love using it. And the good point is it gets automatically integrated with your accounting. So you are able to see real-time profit and loss account, real-time balance sheet positions very well. So I have tried to cover the maximum things which were possible to be covered in the time frame given to us. So thank you very much. So I think we have time or we need to close?
Yes, sir. We have some questions. Let's take some questions, sir.
My question is there. If I download the audit trail file and use some tool or software, I think it will be available in future. So can I change or alter this file or not? What is the possibility?
Sir, effectively speaking, you cannot change or alter the file because the file which you are getting is an encrypted file. It's not like that it's a file written in any simple language. It's an encrypted file which can only be decrypted in the front end of the Tally. Practically speaking, it is not possible that you will be able to decrypt the file using another software.
Okay.
Yes.
And what will be the where will be the file stored if I use the cloud Tally?
In the wherever your data, Tally data is stored, sir. If you are on the cloud, Tally data is on the cloud because it is within inside the Tally data. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि there is another folder is created for the edit log. It is within your Tally data only. So where your accounting vouchers are saved, where your payment receipt, sale purchase is saved, in that only this edit log is saved. Yes. Yes, sir. We can go ahead with the question answers.
Okay, sir. So first question is, do we need to enable any feature of Tally for the dashboard?
So no, you are not required to enable any feature. It is just that you need to use the version of Tally Prime 3 or upwards. So if you are using the latest version of Tally, you will directly get this feature on your dashboard, on the main screen with the name dashboard. Tally has by default created the few dashboards. Right side, you will find an options where you can change these dashboards as per your requirements. So you need your top 5 receivable, top 5 payable, top 5 sales. You need to compare the sales of 2 different periods or any kind of dashboard you want, you can create at your own. And again, by using the save view, you can use multiple dashboards. You can save multiple dashboards. It is not that dashboard is limited to a particular screen. Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Is there any audit trail report, and does it meet the period of storage as per statutory requirement?
So, if I say that as per the statutory requirement, so yes, as soon as per the, when till the date you are required to keep your data, other data, the accounting data, you need to keep your audit trail also saved. And audit trail is always saved with the tally data itself. So practically speaking, you cannot take out of that कि आप कोई एक अलग से निकाल के इसको कहीं सेव कर सकते हैं. It is within your tally data. So you need to keep intact your tally data. You need to retain your tally data in order to meet the requirement of law.
Next question is, can we use multiple versions of Tally in single PC?
Yes, again, this is a real problem, or you could say the people are not aware of it. So yes, you can use multiple versions of Tally in your single PC. So this is what we always recommend: ki ask your client to upgrade and you also upgrade. But even if your client is giving the data in the old versions, so you can keep n number of versions in your Tally just to help you out. If I showcase my screen, so you can see that there are n number of Tally versions I have installed, and I can use all of them parallelly. So from Tally 7.2 to Tally Prime 4.1 edit log, I have all versions here in my Tally. And people give me data in Tally Prime, Tally ERP 9, Tally 7.2. I can run on the same PC. For instance, you can just see that this is my Tally ERP 9 running here itself. So on the same license, you do not need any other license or anything of that sort. On the same license, you can use this feature. You can have n number of tallies installed and use.
The next question is, what if the Tally data gets corrupted? Will audit trail get deleted?
Again, if the tally data gets corrupted and you are able to repair it or migrate it, then the audit trail is not disturbed. But if your data gets corrupted and you are not able to recover it by any means, the edit log also gets corrupted. Because it is just like that. I have physical books, and if physical books get destroyed in fire or something, so my edit log also get destroyed. So it is just like that. अगर आपका टेली का डेटा सिक्योर्ड है, वो टेली का डेटा अवेलेबल है, वो माइग्रेट हो गया, वो रिपेयर हो गया, वो रिकवर हो गया, तो एडिट लॉग भी रिपेयर और रिकवर हो गया.
Okay, sir. Sir, next question is, how can we manage the access rights in Tally?
So again, a good feature which I suggest everyone to use, कि Tally inbuilt has the access right features available, where you can give access rights according to your wish, according to your requirement. So suppose as an auditor, we don't want that our staff should get the rights of editing or deleting anything of the client's data. It should have get the rights of view only. So this feature is always available. When you go into the company, you have users and password settings available. You have user roles. So you can set user role as per your requirement. So suppose I go and see this data entry operator. So you can set what all full access you want to deny, what all access you want to give. You can just set here, and accordingly the Tally will react. So if you want that only view rights given, you can set that. You want that only my data entry operator should do the sales invoicing. So you can stop him from doing anything else. He can just post the sales invoice. So to an extent, everything is possible with the security access.
And sir, what is the solution of an account entries done by the accountant only?
So if I'm able to understand, you are just asking about the on account entries done by the accountant.
Yes.
So again, we recommend that while passing the purchase and receipt or sales entry or the payment entry, you should always use against reference and new reference, so that your bill by bill details is properly maintained. But if suppose the accountant has used on account entries, तो उसका एक future का रास्ता क्या है कि that from today in his user ID password you just stop giving him the right of doing the on account. So when you go in the user ID, users and the password, user roles, when you set the user role for your accountant, you will get an option here. You go to user roles. In an option, you will get here enable on account for bill allocation. Exclude the on account for bill allocation. You can just see here it's a feature that exclude on account for bill allocation. अगर जैसे ही आप इसको yes कर देंगे तो अब आपके अकाउंटेंट को जब भी वो एंट्रीज कर रहा है तो he will not get an option of on account. So he is by default required to put it against reference or new reference. So that is the one way. Second way is you split the tally and rest from जो past के transactions है that will be booked as an opening balance, and future you can just start using the on a bill by bill system.
Sir, last question. It is possible whether any data demigration possible from Tally Prime to Tally ERP9?
So, sir, speaking about this, there is no possibility of migrating the data from Tally Prime 4 or 3 to older versions. This is what I stated in starting, that the data size or the data folder earlier used to be 5 digits and now it has been converted into 6-digit folders. So once you have migrated your data to Tally Prime 3 or the upper versions for it, you cannot demigrate it to Tally Prime 2.1 or Tally ERP9.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Sir, I would like to express my deepest appreciation for both of you and for sharing your invaluable expertise on this topic for compliance and audit through tally and capacity building. Your presentations were not only informative but also an inspiring, setting a high standard for knowledge exchange. And it is inevitable, as I can see the chat box having full praises for you and your PPT. Many of the participants are asking for your PPTs. You can check the contact number from the screen itself for asking the PPT, or you can mail us on cmp@gmail.in. And lastly, I would also like to thank every participant who took the time to join us in this sunny afternoon. And your participation is invaluable to us. And we will see you next Friday. Thank you, both of you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you everyone for joining the session, and I hope we were able to deliver to your expectations. If you have any questions or something in relation to Tally, you can always reach us. We will be really happy to help you out in any way. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, both of you, sir. Thank you, sir. You can exit, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir. End karo, sir.
Recording stopped.